Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. Okay, knock, knock, knock. Let's see what these tea leaves have in store for us today. All right. Oh, it looks like a big kitty cat. Here's the little eye, and the little nose. It's a very soft and sweet kind of image. Which actually, as I'm saying that, makes a little bit of sense. We have, for the card, I will introduce it. It is the Two of Swords. Okay, and this is from the Thoth deck. This is related to a desire for peace. Okay, and so this is often kind of explained as wanting to seek balance through knowledge or a balancing of knowledge. Okay, so what does that really mean? Kind of being able to look at everything from enough perspectives or with enough perspective that it can begin the process of being transmuted from knowledge into a wisdom, into an understanding, okay? And not kind of very lopsided with the black and white kind of thinking, okay? So what that tells me is that you are really seeking this serene place, this kind of cute, fluffy, almost like a what is it called? Kawaii kind of kitty cat face. And so I think to get there, you're doing some work. You're doing some excavating of old feelings of kind of coping mechanisms that you maybe have developed or self-mythology. We also have this heart. Okay, so I think that this might be really a matter of the heart. And where else more than anywhere do we have that kind of real dualistic black and white, good, bad, they're the perfect person and then they do something and they become the worst person. Terrible, never loved me, like one or the other side, right? Well, I think that probably, and as I'm looking at this, I see a person kind of leaning out of this side of the heart, and then I see another person leaning out of this side of the heart. And I think that maybe this was somebody who is from the past. I think maybe this is an old lover, maybe an ex, maybe a spouse you have divorced or you're separated from. And I think I really get this feeling, and I'm looking at this candlestick here, and that for me is really the desire for illumination of your own interior feelings, your own kind of sorting things out, bringing a light up to that darkness so that you can stop living in the past, stop living in kind of this pattern of emotions or kind of we connect new things to old things. When something is similar to, it reminds us of something from the past. We have these kind of beliefs that we create through old circumstances, through old scenarios, through old ordeals, right? And so I think that you are really tired of reliving these kinds of feelings and thinking and emotions and that are linked to an old relationship. And I think you're really working on illuminating that stuff so that you can sort it out, process through it. Maybe do some forgiving of yourself, of the other person, or just being kind of understanding, right? Coming to a place of humanizing the behaviors to some degree, depending on how terrible they were, of course. And I always like to add this, you know, when I talk about these kinds of things, I never mean to mention, not forgiveness, but letting things like abuse slide, or, you know, just kind of, get over, you know, some kind of terrible injustice that somebody did to you, abused you, you know, in the many ways that one person can, right? So I don't mean to ever make you think that I'm saying just get over that stuff. That's not what I mean at all. I really, and I guess I like to mention that because I have trauma in my past, especially in my childhood, and kind of manifested in some of my relationships due to that childhood abuse and trauma. And I have been to therapists, and had close people in my life who sometimes gave me advice that felt like they were not hearing how painful or traumatic those things were. And so I never want to say something that would make somebody feel like they, you know, if the severity was there, skip over this reading. I think, you know, I'm really more talking about normal level things that happen in relationships. Okay. So, and as I say that, I think that maybe this is almost a sense of, and I'm looking here, I see kind of a little boot. I think that really there was like, either like a sense of kicking somebody out or just like getting your boots on and going. That is also reflected in, where did it go? Right here, with the horse and the person on the horse. Totally a symbol for me of moving on, traveling, getting your stuff packed up and going. Okay, so whatever happened, I really think that it kind of was in the realm of being unfaithful. And I don't necessarily mean cheating physically, emotionally, financially, anything like that. It could be. Now, it really could be. But I think because of generally how I'm feeling, but also when I'm looking at these symbols, I haven't seen anything that really shows me that there was like a cheating situation, or maybe that's not the focal point of the breakup. But what to me seems to be coming through is more a sense of, and there's this goat here, that this person, and wow, you're a Capricorn, so maybe you're the goat. But I think in this situation, okay, and we have also the little turtle here. So we have these very kind of strong, shielded, stoic kinds of holding in some of the emotions. Okay, and I feel like there was a sense of unfaithfulness, in that there was not a lot of open communication and vulnerability. I feel like in this relationship, you kind of gave it your all. You opened yourself up wide open so that they could connect with you deeply, that you could connect with them deeply, that you could be as honest and authentic as you could ever have tried, right? And it feels like there was a lot of anxiety and kind of just like not understanding why they could not bring that same energy, match that energy. That they did not have the faith in you or trust in you to be fully themselves, or at least show you parts of themselves that they kind of hid away. Okay. And I think that over time, and maybe for years even, this went on, and it just never allowed you, no matter how much you loved one another, it never allowed you to get to that point. Okay. And again, I'm seeing this, like the candlestick over here. It's missing the bottom, but it looks the same to me in my mind. And so there's the candlestick, and I see a person kind of flying through the air, floating through the air, really trying to grasp on to, and you can hear my cat, so I apologize if she does anything tricky or witchy or naughty. She's a few weeks ago, it was 20 degrees here. Today, it is like almost 80 degrees. So everybody in the household is a bit wound up, including the cats. We have that spring fever 100%. So, I really think there was just, this real strong desire to, explore those places with one another. You wanted to explore the places with each other, build like a deep internal life together, a spiritual life, a spiritual bond, to really know one another like nobody has ever, no two people have ever been so close, And I think, we all have those feelings when we decide to spend our life with somebody. And it just, no matter which way you tried to orient it, it just did not seem to happen. And I think, that really made it impossible for you to fully ever realize the relationship that you wanted. Okay. And not only with them, but with yourself, because it really left a lot of space for you to feel not good enough, unwanted, ignored, these kinds of just rejection type feelings. And now after you have had some time apart, you've moved on, I suspect, and you are ready to kind of, live your life, have some peace, maybe be with somebody else, or maybe you are with somebody else, but you want to work through this stuff so you don't kind of carry it with you. Okay, and I do see a heart at the central part, so I wonder if there is somebody that is already kind of, you're already starting to connect with, or maybe, gosh, you might even be married, but you're starting to run into some of these old feelings, right? Things that kind of trigger them, bring them up. So I think, you're starting to also really, and I see as we turn this heart, right, and I had seen the two people kind of going away from each other. I see now on this side, there's kind of this, it looks like a beast, right? And then we have a person on top, and they're kind of holding something. I think that candle again, right? And so I think so much, it's like you have tamed this kind of resentment, this kind of emotional beast that you've had about this old relationship. I think when we're in it with somebody, it's so easy to think of them as like this terrible, this this person who gave up on us, or you had to give up on them because they just wouldn't, do the work to, for both of you to get to where you need to go, and, you're at odds, and we just, there's a million reasons we can begin to resent the person that we're with, especially if it's not working out, especially if we really try to make it work out and it just won't fit, right? So, but when you get some time apart, you get some space apart, you are really, starting to do some inventory, self-inventory, inventory of your life. You start to see parts of the situation you didn't necessarily perceive before. They start to emerge. And hopefully there's a little more empathy for somebody who really does not have the ability to connect emotionally or to open themselves to an emotional connection or has an emotional connection to themselves at all. That is a person that probably, I would imagine, suffers in some way because they're missing out on a big part of, just what it is to be a human. So, I really do think that the orientation of how you have felt about them in the past has really changed a lot. And that has really allowed you to kind of master these big kind of angry feelings, negative feelings, and be able to have a little more softer love and acceptance. And that, I think, is really starting to transition into your own experience with yourself and with others. Like I said, if you're in a relationship right now, it seems like this has been very helpful for you in a lot of ways. Okay. And I just want to this is starting to get warm and dry up. So I'm going to hurry up here. Do a little turnaround. It's just kind of getting silly. Okay, and I see this little kind of, it almost looks like a little devil, but like kind of a fun one, not like a scary one. I kind of feel like, with this piece, this Two of Swords piece, with this kind of deeper understanding of just, this old thing and releasing of it, letting it go, not having to carry it around so much. There's really kind of this like merriment stirring up in you. And I feel like you could really be coming into a period of time of just enjoyment. Okay, I kind of envision like, dancing and music and just really being in the moment, really having that kind of like focus and energy on having a good time and seeking out like new things that really make you feel interested and involved and, evoke emotion in you, the arts and like I said, music, maybe, new kinds of activities, physical activities, going out and hiking, or I don't know. I've seen a lot of people on TV like throwing axes or, something like this. But something that you just really can really get into. And I think that's wonderful. I think that will be, a great thing. And there's so much to be said for letting go of that, those feelings of resentment, but also feeling like something was your fault. Like I think a lot of us go through life with this great shame, guilt, and a feeling of inadequacy, right? And I think so often it is something that is so, like we've construed this thing, woven this like story together in our mind, and it is very difficult to get rid of. So if you even begin to just pull the threads out of that thing, I wish, more power to you. Okay. I really think that's wonderful. I wanted to look at this with, I'm hoping not all this is going to go falling, but I see here, there's like an A, okay? And I think that this might be the newer person or a person that's in your life that you're feeling very connected to on a spiritual level. And I think while you've been doing this work, it has really kind of cleared out some of those blockages that maybe, you know, were just kind of not allowing you to connect with anybody on that deep, deep level, that really deep, like maybe your family, right? Your friends, family, a couple, a few people along the way. But I think to connect with somebody that you are romantically involved with, or you have a great fondness for, a great chemistry with, you don't have to be together. I mean, this could be purely, you know, spiritual, physical, doing, you know, esoteric work together or something, you know. But whatever it is, I think that these kinds of feelings that you had been keeping with you, that this old relationship didn't work because you weren't good enough to kind of, or you didn't do the right things, or they didn't perceive you to be worth fixing themselves for. Like these kinds of stories we tell ourselves, right? And I think there's very common things. We all have them on some level somewhere in some type of relationship. If it's our parents, our lovers, our, you know, our friends, our siblings, whatever it is, right? Even on a small scale, we all have them. So we have this narrative to some degree. I mean, it's a narrative that society loves to tell us, because if we feel inadequate, then we're buying stuff, right? We're out there purchasing things to fix ourselves. So this is a conditioning thing that we all really, really have to work on. And so anyways, I think this person has an A name, and I think that you really are going to be connecting, you know, more and more and more. And I think that's really coming together for you. And I think it'll be, you know, it seems like a most lovely thing. Also, you know what? I picture you, and this is a person with a little hat on. I kind of picture you maybe taking some kind of day trip, or maybe a weekend trip to a place that has kind of like, it seems like gardens of some kind, but natural. Like it's like gardens, but it's tends towards the more natural, not like overly, I forget what that's called when they shape the bushes and stuff. But, you know, not overly, it is planned. It's a planned garden, but it seems like a lot of natural, native occurring plants. So something like very, well, how do I feel? Like it feels inviting. It feels warm. It feels very like a home, a homey place, like it belongs there. And I just kind of see you visiting. I see you kind of in like a little hat or something to shield the sun, but just enjoying yourself at peace. And that's what this is about. It's about that peace today, right? And let's see, let's look at this. Okay. I see the two kind of coming together, right? And then we do have, well, this came down to the 3. So what I'm feeling like, oddly, I think I almost feel like that this person that you are, this A person that you're kind of getting really close to, is almost like it gives me this feeling. These leaves here give me this feeling that maybe your family already knows them, or maybe that you were introduced by like your mother or something, or your father, but everybody's friendly. And I think that this is really going to be like an easy relationship. And they're accepted by the people that you already, they're already accepted by the people you love. That's how I need to say it. And so I think that I just feel like a lot of ease coming on. But underneath that ease, intense attraction, sparks. Feeling alive again, kind of. I feel like that's, like being activated to some degree. Yeah. And so I think, let's see, got a lot of, yeah. I'm going to have to figure out my situation with the rooms getting really warm. For summer, the tea leaves just, they dry out so fast. So I think that's the reading today. I think this is a happy one in my estimation. This kind of work, this getting through those old hurts. It's amazing when we find ourselves on the other side of that pain, and letting go of the resentment is the big one, but also just those feelings of blaming self for things that were not necessarily you, right? So I thank you. I'm always so honored to bring these messages to you. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, and we're trying to build the channel one person at a time, and that's been going pretty good, and I thank you, each and every one of you. If you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing so. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next video is coming out. I'm doing 2 readings a day, so 6 days a week. So every sign is being read once a week. Okay, so other than that, if you want to leave a message or leave a comment, you can also email me if you want to, but you can leave a comment and let me know how you're doing. Let me know what's going on with you. I love hearing from each and every one of you. You all are so encouraging, have such good energy, just so loving, and I appreciate it. It keeps me actually doing this. Like, there have been days where I'm like, oh, I don't know. Nobody connects with these. But then I see the comments and I'm like, okay. I'm doing okay. We're all doing okay. So I'm going to keep going. All right. Well, thank you, Capricorn. All of my love. We will talk again in a few days.